Oh, this one hurt. UVA, you'd already played Duke in the regular season, and you handled them easily. That game showed you the perfect game script on how to beat them, and it was get off to a fast start, never look back, take advantage of Duke's weak secondary, and then make Duke play catch up, not let them run the ball. Duke comes out, has a massive, long opening touchdown drive where you actually had them stopped, and then you jump off sides on the punt attempt, and they go for it on fourth down and get it. Then you don't score, but then Minsa gives you a gift and throws a pick, and you score a touchdown off of that. So maybe you're kind of back in it. But then you think you have Duke stopped, and then you give up a fake punt, and they go down and score again. And so then the game script from the first game is completely gone. Duke ends up being able to run the ball the whole time because they're in control now. They have 41 carries on the day. So Duke really does just feel like they're controlling the game. Then there's life. UVA gets the ball back, down 7, like a minute 50 left, a minute 40 left. They have to drive 96 yards, and they do so. Beautiful ball by Chandler Morris on the touchdown. Great catch. And we're off to overtime. Duke scores pretty easily first overtime period. And then there's a weird rule that I've never heard of before where you can just enforce the penalty yardage of a personal foul onto the opposing team's starting position. So UVA has to start from the 40.
It makes sense.
They go trick
Do it
play.
on a kickoff.
Yeah, you can do it on a kickoff.
It does make sense. I just have never seen it. UVA goes trick play mode, and Chandler Morris throws a pick on the first play of their OT possession. They lose. They don't get to make the playoffs. JMU gets to make the playoffs. I know those two JMU guys they showed in the crowd were ecstatic.
But that was so funny.
It just hurts for Virginia. Good win for Duke. Thoughts on this game, guys?
Yeah. First of all, never predict a Duke game because
it's pointless.
Good luck. We kind of hit a little bit on one this year, but other than that, it has been a bad miss, and we've had more Duke games than I thought we would this year.
Yeah, we did
Duke,
Illinois.
Our fourth Duke game.
Was it really?
I think so.
Yeah, we've done a good bit because they keep being big games.
Now, what is just hilarious to me is you described it really well, but if you just go and look at the first 5 drives on the play-by-play on ESPN, it is just it's hilarious. It is absolutely hilarious, and that's without even diving deep into the offside call and the fake punt as well, and Minsa's terrible throw for a pick. Like all of those, if you dive deeper, it gets even funnier. But for this game to start 15 plays, 75 yards, 9 minutes and 38 seconds, touchdown Duke, in which they have 3 third-down conversions and a fourth-down conversion. Virginia responds. They hold the ball for 4 minutes. They go 47 yards but miss a field goal. Minsa gets it right back. On the second play, throws a pick. Virginia scores immediately on a 23-yard touchdown. And then Duke goes 13 plays, 75 yards, 8 minutes. Touchdown Duke, where they have a third down conversion and 2 fourth down conversions. That's just the first 5 drives of the game.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. I didn't have the sound on for much of this game because I'm listening to Gus Johnson, because why wouldn't you? But I
would listen to a Gus Johnson audiobook.
Exactly. I do wish that I had the sound on for how Sean McDonough react to this, and maybe you could speak to it. Did you have the sound on for this game?
I did actually for the start. Yes, he was pretty stunned, and he was raving a lot about how this is exactly how Duke needed to start this game. This is exactly what they needed.
Yeah, I mean anyone needs a 9-minute, 38-second touchdown drive to start the game.
One of those long, tantalizing drives, as JP calls it.
Tantalizing. It was unbelievable.
You missed a brilliant one then, as the Vikings went 14 plays, 12 and a half minutes, and scored a touchdown.
We're going to have to mention that on Tuesday's show. I need that in the show. And then Virginia, they somehow find their way back into this game, which is really what is astounding for me, and I have to give them a ton of credit, because what Jack was saying a ton throughout the second half is, we're choking this. We're choking this. And he's saying this while they're trailing, too. So, it's not like they have the lead and they're choking a big lead. No, they're trailing, trying to make the comeback, and then they're just not quite getting over the hump yet. They start that drive, the second half, with a Duke drive, apparently a Duke drive, a 7-minute, 40-second drive for a field goal, and then Duke immediately responds, and then Virginia goes turnover on downs, pick, field goal, and then I have to give a ton of credit to Tony Elliott and Chandler Morris and Virginia in the biggest moment of their season to go 96 yards in 1 minute and 22 seconds with all of it under 2 minutes. And if I'm not mistaken, they had one timeout for that entire drive. It might have been 0.
They had 2
Okay.
because the Duke guy ran out of bounds
You're
on
right.
their third down.
You're right.
Saving UVA a field goal or a timeout.
Yes, you're right. That was a beautifully executed 2-minute drive. Like, that is perfect. That's exactly how I would do it. And I am the way that you should do it, which
Of
is
course.
the way I do it in the video game is exactly how you should do it. That is something I personally give myself a ton of credit for, is how well I can execute with little to no time. And so I personally like to think that I should be on a lot of staffs in this country, both professionally and collegiately, as a guy who gives you what the decision should be in a certain standpoint for using a timeout or managing the clock. And they managed it perfectly. When you make the completion and you get to the spot, I think they had, at that point, it was 35 seconds left, no timeouts. Go, go, go. You are 20 or so yards away. Take your end zone shot right here. Because if it's incomplete, time clock stops, and you've already used an end zone shot. When you get deep down the field in a 2-minute drive, what you're trying to do when you're down 7 is you want first to get into a spot to where, worst case scenario, we can complete a Hail Mary. And so we do everything we possibly can to get there. Once we've gotten there, now we are trying to get to the 25-yard line so we can take feasibly at least 3 end zone shots, if not 4, with all 4 downs. They did that perfectly, and they make an incredible play. Chandler Morris throws a beautiful ball, a great catch in the corner of the end zone. I don't remember his name.
I don't either because he's a backup receiver. He was filling in for Terrell Harris. But it was just really well done to fill in while you're looking up his name because
Wood.
Charlie Wood? No, I'm thinking of Charlie B from Nashville, Tennessee.
Wow,
we'll
way
get
to
to him
spoil
later.
our later segment.
Yeah, sorry. Elijah Wood is his name.
Elijah Wood, okay.
No,
Yeah,
not
I'm
actually.
pretty sure it is Elijah Wood, like the actor.
No.
Like the actor. Maybe I'm wrong.
You're just
I'll look at
mixing
the
it up.
box score. It's actually probably in the box score.
He's a
Eli Wood.
Eli
so
Wood.
Yeah.
It could be Elijah
Short for-
Wood.
Could
yeah.
be Elijah.
Elijah.
What about this?
Yeah,
Elijah?
short for- I
But
hope not.
to start that drive, you don't have tons of time, but you have enough time. And Duke's playing too high. They're playing soft. And so UVA's just taking the layups. They're just working their way down the field,
Getting the penalties.
getting the penalties. They're not forcing anything because while they do need to hurry, they have enough time. And then as soon as they get far enough down the field, Duke has to stop just playing prevent too high.
Mm-hmm.
You get a one-on-one shot, you take it, you convert. It was just really well handled, no panic, which you would hope from a fifth-year quarterback that he would deliver in those moments, but he did perfectly. So big ups for that. Unfortunately, he did not handle the trick play very well, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
At first, I kind of disagree with you with your feeling of what a terrible play call, but you made a great point in the moment of when you run a trick play, you are twice, if not more, if not 5 times as likely to force some kind of throw
100%.
every single time because it's the trick play. This is our one opportunity, even though it's just 1st and 10. We got to seize this moment right now. We caught them, even though he did not catch them, and he throws a pick to double coverage. And it was actually a guy who was replaced a Duke linebacker that had got hurt in the game, and it was his first game of the season, and he makes a pick to end that game. I agree now with you in that was a terrible play call.
It's a panic play call for one
It
thing.
is.
We're talking about how they didn't panic at all on that game, the game tying drive in regulation. You like almost get reactionary to being down in overtime and being on the 40 instead of the 25, and you're like, oh, we gotta get it all back right now, and then you do that. Question for y'all, real quick. This is the biggest side. Manny Diaz full beard. Is that a yay or nay?
Nay.
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 I think I agree. It's nay. I don't think it fits him.
I mean, also, I just like him clean shaven because that's what he had when he was at State.
Sure.
So that's just how I think of him, as clean
For
shaven.
shorter people, I don't mind longer hair, but I don't like a lot of facial hair.
That's fair. It is also, yeah, I think that's fair. I don't think it fits Duke either. For
Yeah.
Duke's head coach to have a full beard and be a little like
It's not just like any guy.
Gruff.
It's like grizzly.
yeah, because there's like there's some gray. It's a peppery beard. I'm just not the biggest fan. My last thought on this is it's just really funny that Duke wins this and it's like hooray for Duke, but it doesn't mean anything aside from you're the ACC champion because you weren't going to get into the the big dance. You weren't going to get into the cultural playoff. There's not like there's a huge, massive bowl on the line anymore. So it kind of felt anticlimactic in that way of like, oh, now UVA is not going to the playoffs, and Duke just kind of is like, yay, we did it. And then they get asked why they should go to the cultural playoff, and they have to make up some reason. But just a weird moment in Charlotte at the end of the game, in my opinion.
100%. I fully agree. Poor Virginia.
Great season. Second ever 10-win season. And I did confirm with my dad that he was a freshman when the other 10-win season happened. So
Fire.
I told him, I was like, apparently you're a good luck charm because went to school at UVA, moved away, and has since moved back in recent years. And so he's been in Charlottesville for both 10-win seasons. Maybe they should give him a contract is what I'm like, maybe. You can give my dad a 7-figure contract. I'm fine with that.
I'd be fine with that, too.
Yeah, I mean, why would you not? Shall we move on to our last game?